welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer and today we are looking at the Suqqu Holiday collection. This is inspired by winter roses blooming in freezing cold weather. Vividly appearing in the wintry scenery is bringing the warmth within the cold season. I bring that up and hopefully the picture will go up of the promo photos of this collection. It is not your typical holiday looking collection, and I use typical as in, you know, a lot of people, a lot of brands around the holidays have something sparkly, they have something holiday related, red and green, sparkly white, something for New Year's, you know, those types of things. This is, as always with Suqqu, an understated collection. And the shades in here aren't what I would instantly think of when I think of holiday. As usual though, they're quite beautiful and I'm really looking forward to trying them today. I think I've put these into sort of two categories, one warm and one cool. I'm gonna do a whole look with the warm and a whole look with the cool. And so we'll talk about them up front and then I'll do the looks. There's also the loose powder and I wanna talk about that first because I did buy two of these. This is, let me look at the box. The box is the typical Suqqu packaging. It's black on black, so it's not easy to read, but it's Suqqu 101 is the shade. Suqqu Oil Rich Loose Powder 101. It is a lavender powder. Now, I don't think this has a sparkle to it. We're gonna find out if it has a sparkle to it. I don't think it does. It came off really easily. There's the powder. It's a net, very finely milled. I'm just putting it on the back of my hand so you guys can see if there's like a sparkle. No, I don't see one. It just looks like a little bit cooler. I like lavender powders because they're brightening, but they're not, you know, they're cool toned, which matches my my undertones. And I think it's a powder that works on most people. It brightens, it lightens, especially if, you know, you're looking for something to sort of. Let's go to the cool tone first. This is 120. $110 is the touch tone eyes. This is called a stellar formula. Has full dimension, it sparkles and adds depth and twinkle to the eyes. I don't really know exactly what that means, but we're gonna find out today. And then the blush is 136. This is not the pure blush. This is not the melting blush. This is the pure blush, which means that there's like a rosy shade here and then it gets into the highlight. So you can use them together or you can kind of separate it into blush and highlight depending on how you want to do it. That's really up to you. And then there's actually three lipstick shades. We'll get into it in a minute. But this is the lipstick in 125. This is the Moisture Rich lipstick. And those are the cool toned, just making sure I'm not missing anything. Those are the cool toned shades for today. The warm tones we have, and again, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna like more, but I'm guessing this one, we'll see. 121, which has, of course, the green shade, minty green shade in there. We have 137, pure color blush. It's a deeper, it looks like a deeper shade. We have the lip in 124. We have the Tone Touch Eyes in 111, which is a silver. Then the last product is, there was another lip product, which I did pick up because it's a balm, and you know I like a very pricey balm. This is the Suqqu Matte Lip Balm in 101. And since I'm not gonna wear this one today, I will put it on the back of my hand. You'll see it doesn't have a ton of pigment, but it is a matte balm, which is interesting. I actually like this formula. It's one of those things that's great for your purse, pocket, however you carry. And I think it looks very similar to the kinds of shades that I like, a rosy, rosewood, brown, pink kind of shade. And something that would work on a lot of folks. It's not very warm toned. So if you want something that's a very warm toned balm, that's probably not gonna be it. A couple things to mention. I am currently wearing a Suqqu foundation. This is the cream foundation in, I always forget the shade, 210. This is my favorite Suqqu foundation. And my brows are done, and I have a little bit of lip liner on from Suqqu. That's it. It's the only thing I have on my face today. So, like I said, I'm going to do the cool toned look first, and then we'll do the warm toned look. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through everything, except for the fact, because I've already shown you all the different components, but I will, when I put the eyeshadows on the eye, I will show you which shade I'm using for each part of the look. All right, let's start with the blush. Again, this is in shade 136. I'm using this together as like a highlighting blush, so it will all be one. My face is a little bumpy and swollen. I had laser 2 days ago? 2 days ago. So if you see any bumps or swelling or anything that looks a little odd, it's not Suqq's fault. It's my laser. I switched over to a Sonia G soft cheek brush because I didn't forget, but I was doing another brand. The Suqqu pigments are they're softly pigmented. So if you want something with a little bit more, don't use like a soft swirl brush or something like that, because it'll diffuse it to a point where you won't really see it. Just saying. All right, so the lipstick, again, we have it in 125. It looks a lot deeper in the bullet. Oh, that's a gorgeous shade. This is one I might pick up 2 of. This is a beautiful, beautiful, very, very much me shade. It's a brown with a little bit of rose, and it reminds me of the Dior limited edition balm shade that for the life of me I can't remember, but hopefully I can pop up. That's like a perfect shade for me, and the formula in the Suqqu lipsticks are phenomenally good. I don't talk about them a lot because a lot of times, to be honest with you, Suqqu comes out with their shades, their limited edition shades, and they sell out immediately. They're still available at Harrods, Selfridges, and Liberty London, as far as I know. But I will say, when they sell out, they're generally gone. So these 4 shades, let us swatch them. Okay, as usual, Suqqu has come up with an interesting color story. This is a very warm, almost tan brown. This has sort of a coral shade. This is almost a magenta, and this is a topper. And this one is quite pigmented and deep. So I think what I'm gonna do, and we'll see how this works as I put it on. I think I'm gonna use this. This is more of a matte. I'm gonna use this more of a crease color. I'm gonna use this on the outer corner, this on the eye, and this is a topper. But we'll see how it goes. So I think if you used all the shades but this one, this very magenta shade, I think you'd get more of a neutral. It's not a pink, but interesting. We'll see. All right, we're gonna start with the brown. Create a blown out transition. All that means is that I'm making it very wide. Pigmented shade, like I said, it's a tan, a little deeper than tan, brown. I think there's warmth in here. So although this is the cooler of the 2, I would not call it completely cool. I think you could make this a little more neutral depending on how you decide to use the shades. All right, we're gonna take that bright pink, which is, like I said, a shimmery shade, using it out in the outer corner here, pulling it into the crease, not all the way over. As usual with the Suqqu, great formula, blends easily, not a lot of fallout, if any. But I do agree that the way they phrased it, roses and the cold temperatures and stuff, I can see that. It's actually quite pretty. Not usually my shade of pink. Not a huge pink lover, but I will say this. Mixed with the brown, it really is very nice because it kind of neutralizes it a little bit. It's not so, pink. All right, so we're gonna use that rose corally shade, which is a beautiful shade. Really is, I would say, very coral. And I'm careful about not putting it like all the way into the corner of the eye just yet. Just blending, there's nothing on the brush. Let's take that corally shade. It's rose, but it's got a little like a touch of coral. Lower lash line first with the brown. That's what it looks like without the topper on. Topper in Suqqu, in my experience, always changes it, sometimes drastically. Yeah, if because of the way that I used it and the fact that I used that magenta, it's not really magenta. I'm trying to think of the best fuchsia, I think. It is definitely pink, but I think you can see it's a beautiful look. If you're somebody who likes a cool color story, this is magnificent. Okay, so that's the finished look with the topper. I want you to see how it looks. I think it's a beautiful color story. It's not exactly my color story, but it is beautiful the way it comes together with Suqqu. It's always amazing. But let's take this tone eyeshadow. Now, this is the one that's supposed to have like dimension and, you know, sparkle, which I think it will. I'm just putting it on the back of my hand so you can see it. That's what it looks like. So let's try putting that, I'm using my fingers, I'm just putting it on the outer side of the, like on the outer half. This is definitely pink, like a rose, true version of rose, but yeah, you can see like the sparkle and dimension that it adds. Shade wise though, I think it's very similar to the other shades. I'd also say though, I think you could wear that by itself for a very light glitter, you know, like gleaming look kind of look. There is the cool toned look. If you're looking for the cool color story, I think this is beautiful. I purposely didn't use bronzer today because I want you to see how it would look on pale skin with just the shades, because I feel like this almost lends itself to that. Yes, it's a little more dramatic. Yes, it's a little bit more, especially with the lipstick, like, you know, contrast, but I actually think it's quite beautiful. And again, it's a look. It depends on if that's something you want, but I do think it's very pretty. All right, so the powder. I'm gonna use a brush first when we do this. Let's just see what that does. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful powder, but I think you can see that it does actually lighten just a little bit my skin. And because I'm already so pale, it looks even, you know, more of that like Casper, kind of Casper the Ghost. I don't mind that. I just, you know, be aware that it's going to give you that, you know, that lightening effect. And if you already are pale, I have very pale skin. A lot of the times that I'm on camera, I do have some bronzer on, and I have no bronzer on today. Plus it's the winter now, and yeah. So cool look done. We're gonna move on to the warm look. I'm gonna go wash my face. We're gonna start all over again. So let's move on to the warm. This is shade 137 in the blush. This one is a little bit more pigmented, but I wouldn't say it's like a highly pigmented blush. But you know, that works very well for me. I love the fact that I can feel pretty comfortable going in and I can build it without worrying that it's going to be something I have to wipe off. And again, any bumps, swelling, anything you see there, that's because of the laser. Got condensed times to film, unfortunately, the next couple weeks because holidays and travel and all that good stuff. So we had to just get to it. Okay, so the shade lip is 124. Definitely lighter than the cool toned and more of, I'd say, a peach. These are both moisture rich. The balm is the matte. Here's the cool toned one next to it, just so you can see the difference. So the cool toned one is much deeper in shade, but this is a beautiful peachy neutral. And I will take the liner that I have, and I think the name of the liner is Natural, but I'll have the name down below. As you can see, it doesn't add a lot to it. It's a pretty neutral liner, which is why I use it, but it does have a little bit of shade to it. So this is the warmer quad. This is 121. Stained pretty well there. Up here. I haven't had a chance to wash off my arm. The brown in here is a shimmer. and quite beautiful. We've got like a pumpkin, the green. Now, you know that my inclination is to just use the green all over the lid. That's kind of what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do. Why not? My channel. I can do it if I want to. All right, so the way we're going to do this, I'm going to use this orangey shade first, actually. These all seem to be satiny shades. None of these seems to be a matte. I'm going to take that orange and I'm just putting it on the outer corner like that. And same thing, just then we're going to take the brown shade, which is really pretty because it's got a really nice like sparkle to it. It's not, it's like a satin, but it has, I don't know if that's like bronze, what that is. It's really pretty. It's a gorgeous shade, and it's one that could be used all over the eye by itself as a nice neutral. Really pretty. And I'm just putting it a little bit above the crease and then like outer. I'm gonna take it, nothing on the brush, and just kind of pull that up a little so you get a little bit of shade in the brow bone area. And you can see the brown is the predominant shade, but on the outer corner there's a little bit of that like orange. So now we're gonna take the green, because I like green, and why not? Put it on the eye. Again, you can use these shades in any way you want. You could downgrade the green, not use it very much, just use it as an accent. You could make the orange shade the predominant shade. Think about Suqqu. I mean, in general, you can have very different looks depending on how you decide for placement. And then the topper shade usually is very much just a topper shade that changes the look, and you can use it or not. But sometimes even like with this one, the topper shade in here, I have a feeling you could use it by itself, but it wouldn't have to be so much of a quote topper. It has a little more pigment than I think the one in the cooler toned. That's a beautiful minty green. Such a pretty minty green. And mixing it with the brown and the orange, you get a little bit more of a grungy shade because you've got that underneath. So we're going to take that yellow topper. You can see what I mean. It's actually quite, we're just going to pop it in the middle here. Oh, that's so pretty. I really like that. All right, so I'm going to take the green and use it as liner and mix it a little bit with the brown. So I'm going to take the brown on the outer corner, and then the green. Yeah, I love the way that looks. All right. If I was just doing it myself, for myself, I'd probably leave it the way it is right now. I don't think I would even add the tone shade, but I want to see the silver shade and how it looks. So I'm going to put it on the inner corner of the eye to see what it does there. Because this is a very silvery shade. I'll show you on my back of my hand. Yeah, that definitely draws its attention. Interesting. Okay. This one is a very traditionally holiday in my opinion. See how icy that is? Like that. That looks great as an inner, it looks great as an inner corner shade, but I think that would also be beautiful all over the eye, especially if you want to do something dramatic. If you put that over a black or a very dark charcoal gray, that would be something. Curling my lashes, putting on mascara, and then this time I'm going to use the powder with a puff. We'll just see what it does. Okay, now we have the warmer look on, and I have to say of the two, I like this one better. I like the green, obviously, because I love green, but I also just think this is a really pretty shimmery look. This is a more shimmery quad than the other one, so that's part of it. But I like the green of this. Now, again, you don't have to use as much of the green. I chose to put it all over the eye. You could use it as an accent, keep it warmer with the brown and the orange mixed, that type of thing. Also, the yellow that's in here is a beautiful topper, and I think you could almost use that on the eye by itself as a wash. And the silver, the tone is stunning. So let's take the powder puff full of powder and just see what it does. I'm going to lift my mirror up like this so you'll have a mirror in here for a second, but I want to make sure that I'm exact about my placement here. Okay. Oh yeah, that definitely brightens. Love the powder. I'm very picky about powder because my skin is so dry that a lot of times powders will accentuate my pores, accentuate the dryness. It just, you know, settles in the lines. This is stunning. This is a stunning powder. It's superly fine milled. It's a gorgeous lavender. It doesn't have any sparkle to it. And it's very, you know, it says oil. What was the name of it? I always forget the name because it always surprises me. It's oil rich glow. It has almost a, not oily, that's not the word, moisturizing feel to it, which I love. Yeah, absolutely love this powder. If you're in the market for a loose powder, guys, I can't recommend one higher than this. This is stunning. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad I got two of them. I will do a comparison between that and the Dior side by side when I have my follow-up video. I have a video coming up that will be like my updates and mini reviews that I do. So that's coming up soon. I'll do a side by side with my old lavender Dior and the new lavender Suqqu, just so you guys can see it. But to wrap up, my favorites from the collection, the loose powder. If you can get it, get it. I think it's on Liberty London. It might even be part of the sales right now. So this is absolutely worth it and I love it. The lipstick, these are the moisture lipsticks. They're like a lip chic or a lip tint if you're familiar with those in Chantecaille. That's why I like them so much. This is the warmer one. This is the peachier one. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the shade. It's very pretty, but the one I like is the 125. It's a brownie pink red. Love it. I could just see me going through a lot of those. I might actually pick another one up, especially if they're part of sales. The tone shades are both beautiful, but the one that's, you know, really pink, I don't see me using. This one though, on the other hand, this is one that I will definitely use a lot. The silver 111, that's something that I think would accent practically any look. Stunning. I'm not going to pick up another one because I'll never go through enough, you know, one shadow, but I do like that. Eyeshadow, I like this warmer one. I think this green is beautiful. It's more of a sage minty green. It reminds me more of the Natasha Denona Retro Glam and the Sydney Grace Mel's bundle. More of those shades than the grungy greens. But because you're pairing it with browns, you get more of that grungy shade. But again, it's mintier, it's sager, it's, you know, that kind of green, but I still think it's stunning. Of the two blushes, you know, I actually think I like the cooler one better, the rose with the glow in it. This one, I don't know. I don't like it as much on me. It's deeper, it's more pigmented, but I think I like the other one more. I like them both. I'm just trying to give you like, if I were just to buy like one of each, that's how I'd go. And then I'd buy the powder regardless. Regardless, I just buy powder because it's phenomenally good. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll answer what I can. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.